Now, what was interesting, I think, amongst Padres fans the most out of all the updates was the Fernando update. Kevin Acee in his Padres Daily had an update on Fernando, and I'm not so sure that we should take this literally, like he's going to be back soon, but I'm just reading it to you from Kevin here. Right fielder Fernando Tatis Jr. did some light running and played catch on the field yesterday. He is regularly hitting in the batting cage. It is all pretty much the same as he has been doing for a couple weeks, slightly increasing the intensity every few days or so. There remains no firm timeline for his return from a stress reaction in his right fibula, but as he left the field yesterday afternoon, so I think that was Tuesday afternoon, Tatis said, "I'll be back soon." Now, obviously, the question there for me is, what is soon? Is that a couple of weeks? Sometime in September? What is soon? Is that in a week? I wouldn't think so, but the update is encouraging. It seems like he is progressing, slightly increasing the intensity every few days or so. He's not near 100%. If he's doing light running, he's not 100. He's not near 100%. Playing catch on the field, that's not taking fly balls in right field. Regularly hitting in the batting cage, okay, he can do that. Obviously, it's not running there involved, so I like that he's doing that. But I'm not getting my hopes up that he's returning in August. I think his return's going to be in September. I'd be a little surprised if he doesn't go on a rehab assignment with this amount of time that he has missed. Usually, Bogarts at least had a few games, right? He had a few games that he with El Paso, and then I think he did El Paso. Then he had a couple games in Elsinore, felt good, and obviously he was good because he came back and he's hitting 350 whatever since coming back in 30 games. So for Tatis, especially because I would assume that he's going to go back and play right field, although I am seeing a push on social media for Tatis to DH because Peralta's actually been playing well. He hasn't been terrible in the outfield. I know there was that mistake the other day. Hasn't been terrible. Maybe you want to protect Tatis and have him DH and not go running around out there in the outfield. You want his bat. That's sure he provides value defensively with his range and some of the throws that he can make, the arm, but it's sort of like Manny, right? The it's still cool to have him defensively. It adds value, but we know that the best value that he can bring is offensively with the bat, with the power, putting balls in the gap, right? So if he does come back, I would not rule out DHing. Definitely some days, not playing right field every day. The shortstop thing, I would rule that out. I don't think that they're going to have him switch to shortstop, back to shortstop when he's coming off of an injury. Obviously, you're very involved there at shortstop. So, really, the update, he says he'll be back soon. Remember, initially, he thought maybe he'd be out for the season. And then he was like, he was thankful to learn, no, it's not that bad. But I thought at one point we were told late August, and it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. And so hopefully it's sometime in September. Is it going to be the beginning of September? For any fans, by the way, that are like, hey, keep Tatis out. Padres are playing well. Peralta's playing well. We don't need Tatis. Keep him out. It's okay. Stay on the shelf. It's like the Manny overrated stuff. I'm just not going to be a part of that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to be here no, keep Tatis, stay out. We're playing good baseball. It's Fernando. I'd rather have him be in the lineup than not be in the lineup. David Peralta, he's been better than we could have hoped, I think, on a minor league deal. What he has done for this Padres team while Tatis has been on the IL. Last time I checked, he was hitting over 300. I don't know if it's dipped below that since, but I mean, some of the hits that he's come up with, clutch hits, by the way, the homers that he's had. And again, I don't think he's been terrible in right field, which is all we could really ask for. It's been great, but he's Fernando, if Peralta's going to play right and Fernando's going to DH some games, I'm fine with that because Peralta, it's not like he's not doing well offensively. It's not like has a 500, 550, 600 OPS out there, right? So For me, it's keep Fernando healthy. Remember in 22, that's the what if that we're always going to have as Padres fans until Padres win the World Series. What if the Padres had Fernando in 2022? They went on that run, but what if? What if they would have had him? What would that have looked like? Would they have beat Phillies? Maybe they would have still lost, but maybe the series would have gone deeper because Tatis would have come up big in one of those moments, you know? Maybe one of the previous games would have turned out differently, you know? It's Fernando. Um, I know the Braves, like they won the World Series without Acuna, but they had some big performances in that outfield. And the Padres can do that with Merrill and Profar. We've seen some big performances from them night in, night out this year. But just like the Braves, they'd rather have Acuna. Padres rather have Tatis. Angels, they'd rather have Trout out there than not. Um, the Nats, they won the World Series when Harper left. They probably still would have rather kept Bryce Harper. You know, that's just what it is. So hopefully Fernando's going to come back. Uh, maybe beginning of September if he's saying he'll be back soon and it's August 21st and he said that a couple days ago. But to me, what I want is him to be back as healthy as he can be. It's not going to be 100%. I think he said that the other day. Not going to be 100%, but as healthy as he can be, get a couple of weeks of at bats in the big leagues. So I don't even need him to come back till mid-September, really. Like, get some at bats under you, big league level, and be good for the postseason. And maybe this is going to be a Darvish type thing where hopefully Darvish, we don't know if he's going to return, but hopefully he returns and he'll be healthy, less miles, less, uh, his arm will be less taxed. Hopefully, and he'll be able to let it all out come postseason time. Tatis hopefully will be less taxed with the legs and he can come back and be great for this Padres team offensively. And that can be a huge boost to this Padres team. That's obviously what we're hoping for. But yeah, that's the latest there.